Yes, people, welcome back to Mission Podcast, and it's another wrestling episode for you guys, a very special one. It's another tier ranking, and we're going to be assessing, reviewing, and ranking 2025 WWE PLEs, premium live events, woke nonsense. I'm just going to call them pay-per-views. I don't care. I'm not doing this whole PLE nonsense, but yeah, 2025, it's been I'd say Danny will agree with me. It's been a very disappointing year for PLEs and WWE in general. The product sucks, but hey, we're here. Me and my very special co-host DK Danny, providing you with some amazing wrestling content as always. But yeah, let's not waste any more time. Then let's get straight into it. Yeah, Danny, any thoughts on 2025 WWE so far?
I mean, we can all agree the level of pay-per-views this year, especially the quality, it's been worse than the last 2-3 years by far. I feel like we've gone into more shows. I mean, we've basically previewed every show in here because we started this early January 2025. So we basically previewed every show, and we've gone into every show having these fantasy bookings in our head. You know what they could do here, what they could do here in the main event to make it interesting. And every single time, apart from probably 2-3 times, Triple H has gone with the most predictable and boring choice. And we've come out of, I'd say, 80% of pay-per-views being like, oh my days. Like, oh, we knew this was gonna happen. It's gonna be the same predictable nonsense. I mean, we're wrestling fans, so we're gonna watch the shows regardless. But we've come out of most pay-per-views being like, that was really anticlimactic. I mean, just the latest one, Survivor Series, we were really, really down about that. So yeah, I mean, let's rank all 12, 13 PLEs and see where they rank. There won't be much pay-per-views that would be higher than probably, C tier or B tier, but we'll see.
Yeah, but just talking in general then from 2025, obviously this was the year WWE moved over to Netflix, PLE as well. One thing I'm not going to complain about is that it's very easily accessible, especially for us in the UK.
Oh yeah.
That's one thing I do like about the whole Netflix era of WWE, but considering the hype that they were creating, saying we're moving over to Netflix, PLEs are not going to be limited. We basically can end shows whenever we want to because of Netflix, we have the freedom. Like so many different factors. You thought, yeah, they're gonna because it's on Netflix because they want to bring in an audience. They want to make these PLEs feel special, but it's been the complete opposite. It's just every single PLE apart from Mania and SummerSlam they've put in very little effort into making them big things. But yeah, I mean we'll talk more about
Also, all the PLEs here, you have the same stage, you have the same
yeah.
boarding and everything. Like back in the day, PLEs used to mean something. Like they used to be like you basically had every PLE have its own feeling. And these days, Mania and SummerSlam, like you said, every PLE feels like okay, this is just another name in another location for a PLE. It just feels all the same.
Yeah, 100%, Danny. I mean, I think most wrestling fans will say they just don't like the way the product is presented. The presentation has dropped significantly, and it doesn't make sense because they're making more money than ever. But it's just pure laziness, I mean, to be honest with you, like back in the day, even WWE, they used to treat the B pay-per-views. They did have filler ones, but at least they made an effort with the stage, the aesthetic, that helps it stand out. But with this current modern day WWE, just every single PLE feels so bland and lackluster. But yeah, let's get into it, Danny. The first one was the Royal Rumble.
Let me just pull this card up. Okay. You know what? Carpe, do you remember just before the Rumble, like 2-3 weeks, how happy we were for this Rumble?
Yeah,
We were so hard for the Rumble. Right? I think we had about 7, 8 different winners in the Rumble. We were seeing guys like Roman could be named, Punk, Seth, Drew, Randy, even the fan boss, The Rock. We were saying, what if he turns up? We were having all of these fantasy bookings in our head, and then the actual Rumble I really liked. I thought for 80%, 90% of the Rumble, it was a really good Rumble. The start I thought was really good. Then you had the part with Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu. I think they dominated most of the Rumble. Then you got into the final third. You had guys like Roman, Punk, Steph, Cena. When they all came out continuously, I thought that was great. By far the best part of the Rumble. And then you had the bit between Roman and Seth where they basically eliminate each other with Punk. Logan eliminates Punk, and then after that, I mean Logan, Jay, and Cena as the last three. I mean, I was guaranteed, it was going to be Cena. I was like, yeah, okay, Cena's going to win this. It's logical. It probably leads to Cena v Gunther or Cena v Cody Armenia. It makes the most sense. And then they had Jey Uso in it. And at that time, I was like, I was fine with it. I wasn't saying, don't. I think there was a lot of people who were overreacting by it. I was saying, you know what, it's fine. Jay is going to finally get his big moment. Armenia, it is what it is. Well, looking back at it, the star power they had in this match and the choice they went with, just because Triple H wanted to put a strap behind Jey Uso's back, I felt like it was underwhelming, especially the winner. But the overall Rumble, I thought it was a really good Rumble.
Yeah, I agree with you, Danny. And just talking about the whole card, I think the whole card was fine. I thought it was really enjoyable. It's just the finish was a bit iffy. But start off with the women's rumble. Yeah, for Charlotte won, innit? She made a return and won.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good little. I know people don't like Charlotte, but it was a good little moment. Then I think the match that was the best match of the night was Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens for the
Phenomenal match.
WWE title. Just a brutal ladder match, one. It was a great way to end the rivalry. I think Cody and Kevin Owens is the last like memorable rivalry that WWE ever had,
Yeah.
which is mad. But yeah, it was a great match, absolutely brutal finish when Cody like Alabama slammed Owens through the ladder, and then he wins, and you just see Kevin Owens. You're like, oh shit, is he hurt legit? And yeah, I really enjoyed the match. It set the tone, and then even the tag match was good. The crowd wasn't really into it because they were burnt out, but it was a good match. And then, as you said, Danny, the men's rumble, it was great. Literally, I can't remember how long it was, but for a good 2/3 of it was fantastic. It's everything you want in a rumble. It was fast paced, had good spots, had good moments. Even the celebrity appearance, like Speed, was hilarious, and you see Bron Breakker like spear the shit out of it. It was great. It was great. So I was really enjoying the Rumble, the way it was paced, the way wrestlers were wrestling in it, and then there was a moment when I think Cena, Seth, Roman, and Punk were all in it at the same time, and they're like staring each other down, and then it was everything you wanted in it on paper. Like, this is hype. This is sick. I mean, I think one of the first wrestling video we did on this channel was the Royal Rumble 2025 preview, I think, and yeah, we all had such high hopes for the event. I think this was the most stacked Rumble they had since 2017, probably.
Easily, yeah.
And funnily enough, the 2017 one was the one that like ended up disappointing people. And then this one done the same. I mean, for me, it started going tits up when they decided to eliminate, was it Roman, Punk, and Seth, like all within each other.
Yeah.
And that just totally killed the momentum of the match. And then the final three was what? Cena, Jay, and Logan Paul. And obviously there we were all like, oh, this is so predictable. Obviously Cena's going to win. And obviously, okay, cool. They swerved us. They went with Jey Uso winning. And I remember when it happened, I was so conflicted. Like, a part of me was saying, oh, that was kind of cool. Like, it's a new winner. You didn't expect, they subverted expectations. But then the later on it went, a couple of days, they made the wrong decision here. Like, the star power that they had and the storylines they had heading into Mania, this does not make any sense at all. Like, Jey Uso is just not believable as a Rumble winner. And I like Jey Uso. I feel like he gets a bit too much flack from fans, but especially now looking towards the end of the year, it was 100% the wrong decision to make Jey Uso in the Rumble. But yeah, them like eliminating Punk, Seth, and Roman for me was so bizarre. Like, even if you wanted Jey Uso to win, like, surely you could have kept them in the final four. Imagine Jay, Seth, Punk, Cena in the final. It would have at least been a bit more unpredictable.
Yeah, I get why they eliminated Roman, Seth, and Punk, especially because that was leading into the Mania match. I think by then they basically had said, okay, Roman, Seth, and Punk will be our night one main event. But I mean, we've seen in Unreal, they were pitching Punk v Gunther could have been one of the night's main events, and do Roman v Seth on the other night as the night two main event, or even now what main event. That way, you could have had Punk win the Rumble and could have main evented against Gunther. But I feel like when you had Roman, Seth, and Punk all gone within a minute or two, then you look at the final three with like Logan, Jay, or two restless people, are not into, let's be honest, mostly. And then with Cena, who just started retirement tour, I'd say you want at least a Punk in there or a Seth in there or even a Roman in there. I think it would have been a much better, ending to the match. But yeah, again, I mean, Jay did end up winning the match, and we've seen how that's panned out, right? I don't think his title win, Armenia was great. His run was pretty meh. And I mean, I think he's doing his best work right now. I mean, they just picked his story back up with him. Basically wanted to, basically losing his head that he's not going to be champion again or whatever it is. So, I mean, this is the most I've been into Jey Uso since probably a really long time. So yeah, I mean, it just shows that winning the Rumble wasn't probably the right decision for Jey Uso back then.
Yeah, but funnily enough, aside from like the questionable decision to have Jay win, I actually think Royal Rumble 2012 was a good pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's as bad as some of the other ones we have on here. If I was to rank it, I'd say it's probably top 3 pay-per-views this year. I don't know if you agree.
Ooh, I'd
Up to
say I'd say it's a B minus. I wouldn't say it's an A. I wouldn't go that far.
I said I think it's a top 3 PLE this year for
Yeah,
WWE.
I think it probably could be. I'll put in a B for Ryan. I don't know if you agree with
Yeah,
me.
same. I'd say B.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's B. I can't. I don't think I'm putting any PLE in A or S though.
I think I might put one in A. We'll get onto it. One or yeah, probably just one. Actually, no, I'll put two in A. I think I've got two, but we'll get onto it. And I mean, it is one of the ones we're talking about next, the Elimination Chamber.
Wow. I think this was obviously the most shocking moment of the year, like the biggest. I think this was like the way it was done is perfection. We'll get on to it. Let's talk about the whole card. I mean, you had Trish and Tiffany against Nia and who's that?
Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae. Sorry, Candice LeRae fans, if you're watching, but yeah, decent little match. And then the women's chamber was a good match as well. I remember. And Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn was absolutely brutal. What a match! It was just a great match. It was hard hitting. It was brutal. I think this is potentially Kevin Owens' last ever match as a wrestler, which is kind of crazy. It's like a full circle moment. If it is his last match, I'm sure he's happy it was with his best friend Sammy, someone he's come up with through the ranks of like Ring of Honor all the way to NXT to WWE, the main roster. It was a great match. And then I remember Randy Orton came back as well. That was a great moment. Owens was trying to like end Sammy's life or something, and then Randy came out, and it was a great moment. I remember we weren't really looking forward to Randy Owens at Mania, but that moment when Randy came back and was about to punt Owens, it kind of had us invested, and it was such a shame KO was injured and couldn't compete. But yeah, and the men's chamber match was actually very good. Like for me, I found chamber matches to be quite shite in recent years, but this one I thoroughly enjoyed. The whole storyline of Cena. Is he gonna win it? It's his final chamber appearance. You had Punk, you had Drew, Logan Paul, Seth, Priest. You had some good workers in here, and it came to the final two, Punk and Cena, and they showed us that they still got it. They still had that chemistry. They're like soulmates in wrestling. It was a great little mini match between them, and obviously the finish, Cena picks up the win, and then wow. I remember we done a video on it. It's so funny though, looking back now. If you go back and watch that Cena heel turn reaction video, how happy we were, how like gassed we were, saying, "Oh, this is our Hogan joins NWO moment." And look at it now, just like, oh my god, that was the worst storylines ever. But yeah, Danny, I'll let you talk about Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I think this is by far the best PLE in my opinion this year. From start to finish, I thought it was great and entertaining. We started off, I think, with the women's chamber match. I think we had Jade return here when she attacked Naomi. It was a story with who attacked Jade backstage. It was with Naomi, Bianca, and Jade. I thought that was really good. Again, a really fun match. And then with the Trish match, I thought was filler match. One filler match on the card because you always need one. So again, it was a decent match. I didn't mind him. And then of course we had Sammy VKO, which I thought was phenomenal. It's up there with. I mean, we'll rank our best PLE matches or WWE matches, later on. But I do think this is going to be right up there. It was a phenomenal match by both men. The story they were telling in this match was amazing. Sami Zayn was trying to save Kevin Owens from going to the dark side, and every time Kevin Owens just got worse and worse. He pile drive him, It was just a phenomenal match. And again, you had Randy Orton's return there also. So that match, I thought, was a great match. And Kevin Owens, well, he was having one hell of a run to start the year. He had that match with Cody. He had this match with Sami. It's just so unfortunate, man. It pains me that he actually had to get injured just before Mania, where, in my opinion, he was probably the best. I mean, yeah, I think he was probably the best heel in the company at that time. All that story with Cody, that feud with Cody, I thought was really good, and he had a lot of heat. Then going into this match with Sami Zayn, people at that time were saying they could have done Sami v KO at Mania, which I would have preferred because we haven't had a Mania match between them two. So I would have loved that. But I was fine with Randy BQ because they were telling the story, if Randy's going to finally hit the punt. And I do think at Mania he would have hit the punt and that would have been a cool moment. So I was all for that. But Kevin Owens, man, he was on track to having the best year from any wrestler in the company. And it's a shame how it panned out. But yeah, like he said, if it is his last match, I'm pretty sure he's content with it. Like having that kind of match in front of, I think it was in Montreal, with your best friend is just poetic. So I mean, if it is his last match, I hope it's not. I hope we do see him next year. But if it is, I'm pretty sure he's happy. And then we had the men's chamber match. I thought was great. The final three was Cena, Punk, and Seth. They get Seth out from there. Punk and Cena have a nice little mini match. The night after, everyone was raving about this mini match. They really wanted to see another Punk v Cena match. And then Seth's still in the chamber. He stomps Punk. Cena, out of desperation, takes back Punk and makes him tap out. Sets out the cage, screaming to Punk, tell him to die. And then there's Cena saying, when he's got Punk in the STFU, saying, "I'm sorry," which I thought was great. So this mini match was, really good. The final, part of the match I thought was amazing. And then, of course, we get that heel turn. I mean, I don't care how he's panned out. I don't care how much of a disappointment it's been. That's one of the best heel turns ever. Period. I'm pretty sure at that time we all thought that, and I don't think that's gonna ever change. But yeah, man, I mean, it's a shame how it's panned out because we had lots of high hopes. But again, that angle was great, and overall a really good pay per view, man. Like three really good matches, an all timer angle, which we rarely ever see. So yeah, man, I think it's by far my best PLE this year.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. The moment itself with Rock coming out and Cody, like the crowd's going crazy when Cody tells Rock "fuck you," and then you just see John Cena played. It was so brilliant in that angle. Like you see him as a happy-go-lucky, like cheering Cody on, yeah. And then when that's that facial expression he pulls when he does the evil look to the Rock, and then they just beat the shit out of Cody. It was phenomenal. Like it was amazing. It was, as you said, one of the best all-time angles. I mean, ruined by Travis Scott, but it is what it is. Yeah, the aura that the Rock and Cena had when they were just posing over Cody's like lifeless body was brilliant. Elimination Chamber had good matches, had good moments, and I think the biggest moment of the year so far, easily, John Cena's heel turn. Regardless of how it turned out, for the moment alone, I think I agree with you. I'd put it in A tier.
On to Mania 91.
Are we separating Mania though?
I said it's better if we separate them. I've separated SummerSlam as well because they did have two nights. So this is the night one card.
Okay, night one. Let me see the matches.
It wasn't a great card, man.
For me, there's only two memorable matches on this card.
There's the main event, and I really liked the Jacob and LA match.
Yeah.
Bother, no, the match really was Mania worthy in my opinion. The Gunther v Jay match was a big disappointment, seeing the way Gunther just tapped out after Jay got him into a sleep hold straight away. Was not good. The New Day and Warriors match, oh my days, this would be bad even if it was on Raw. That's how bad this match was.
I remember they put the SmackDown tag title at TLC was on the SmackDown after Mania.
Yeah.
But then they decided to put the War Raiders and New Day on Mania, which made no sense. The ladder match would have been way better on the card, but I can't lie. Night one was pretty poor. I remember. I think I fell asleep. I didn't even get to the main. I had to watch it the next day, but
it was literally saved by the main event. That's what this would have been easily in D if it wasn't for the main event. But I think how good the main event was, a great triple threat, and with a great all-timer angle, I think this won't be D in my opinion. Probably be a C.
yeah. To be honest, if it wasn't for the main event, the match, because the main event itself was a 5-star match, and then the angle well with Paul Heyman turning on both Punk and Roman and aligning with Seth, it was brilliantly done. It was epic. It was a WrestleMania moment. Like that's what the importance of ending strong is, and it can take a poor pay per view and elevate it. And I think this is the case with WrestleMania Night One. I'd agree with you, Danny. I would have put it on D, but because of the main event and the moment of Heyman turning on Roman and Punk, I put it C.
No, it's time for night two. I will say this is again not a really strong night two. But would you say it's worse than night one, or would you say they're both in C tier? I'll say they're both in C tier.
I don't know, because if we're being honest, there's only two good: the women's triple threat and I'd say I think Priest Drew was a good match.
There's 3 good matches on here. I'd say the
Oh, yeah.
triple threat, the 4-way with Braun, Dom, Penta, and Balor was really good, and I really enjoyed the Drew v Priest street fight. The AJV Logan Paul was so bad. I did not like that match at all. I can't recall anything from the win. I think this is where Becky Lynch said that was all he was doing for, and you already know my thoughts on the main event. So,
Styles Logan Paul was fucking terrible.
oh yeah.
Priest Drew was that one of them. We didn't really care about the match, but when we saw it, it was surprisingly good. The women's triple threat was amazing. Gotta give them all the credit. The fatal 4-way, I loved the moment of Dom winning and then him going up the ramp and then running back to the ring to celebrate. That was a great moment. The women's, is that the tag match? Yeah, I didn't really care about that. And then the main event, I think the match itself gets a lot of hate, but it kind of worked. It was a slow paced match. Cena was the heel as well. It worked, but obviously the ending was just flat. It was just lackluster, and it just ruins the whole thing. Travis Scott coming out was just so poor. It was, and then straight off the Mania, are you deep in it? Travis Scott literally was a part of one of the biggest angles of all time, with Cena turning heel, and in Cena's last ever WrestleMania main event, him winning 17 times. Travis Scott is forever going to be associated with that, and that makes me sick. Like, and then he never even bothered to turn up again. I think they fell out with him, and just quietly tried not to mention him again. It was so stupid, man. It was so stupid. I would have much preferred if Cena just won it by being a bastard heel. Do you know what I mean? On his ones, not Travis Scott coming out to help him or cause a distraction. I think, and I get everyone was disappointed because The Rock wasn't there. I was too, but if you're gonna do Cena winning via heel tactics, I would have much rather he done it off his own accord or done something like so devastatingly evil. Do you know what I mean? To take his heel turn up a notch. But again, WWE, Triple H, the book, they dropped the ball. I feel like people were making excuses for them as well, saying, "Oh, it's because of The Rock. The Rock should have showed up." But even if The Rock didn't show up, there was so many better ways you could have gone about that you could have booked it to be a better finish. But it is the way it is. It was disappointing, but I mean, Cena getting 17 was a big moment. I can't lie though, Danny. I put this in D.
I was gonna say, the triple threat match with Bianca, Io, and Rhea was probably the only real highlight of the show. Like again, the 2 matches I didn't mind were the 4-way and Drew and Priest. The main event, like you were saying, Carpe, I've actually rewatched this. I don't know why I did it, but I wanted to see, how bad the Cena v Cody match actually was. I thought it was an okay match. I didn't think it was the worst match. It was designed to be slow for a reason. Like they were having the slow, methodical match for a reason. I think it was in probably gear 2, not even gear 3, and then Travis comes out, and then it just felt like they rushed to the finish. Travis being there, first of all, is awful. Them, him being associated with Cena winning 17 again is awful. Having, him basically being the main person that, like you said, is associated with Cena winning 17 is just horrible, man. So for that main event was such a down point. I remember how disappointed we were after this, especially me because I absolutely hated this match at the time. So overall, I'd say it's better than night one because it has 3 good matches compared to night one's 2 good matches. But again, if they leave you the way they did with Cody v Cena, I'd have to say it's a D2, man.
Yeah, I agree with you, Danny. I think the match itself wasn't really bad. It's just, the match was starting to pick up, and then Travis Scott came out, and it's just like, it's like, I don't know. It felt like the match was finally starting to get going, and they decided to end it. But yeah, the note was it was such a sour note. As you said, this is the benefit of ending strong. You can have a mid pay-per-view, but if you end strong, people will forget it. Do you know what I mean? But because of how bad this ending was, this finish was, it's got to be D for me.
The next one is Backlash. The last ever Cena v Auto match.
Fucking disgraceful. I hated the way they were like building Cena this year. Basically, it was just like a greatest hits tour. There wasn't very much story behind some of these matches, but to be honest, with Cena and Orton, the build, I didn't mind it that much. To be honest, I thought it was kind of funny, like with Cena saying, was that a line that Cena said? Oh, I don't. Randy's like, go have some kids or something, and then Cena's like, I can't have kids because I've been busy raising all these people's kids. It was a really funny promo. I actually enjoyed it. I thought Cena and Orton, out of all the programs he's had, Cena and Orton probably had, aside from Cody, I'd say probably had the best build. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the build because I felt like they were more going down the route of why Cena's turned against the fans rather than talking about Cena and Orton's legacy and their family's legacy. I feel like they did miss, a beat with that. They could have easily, switched the whole program and just done it about Cena's legacy, be Orton's legacy, who's a better wrestler, etc., etc. But it just became about Cena turning against the fans, which I got bored of after the first 2 weeks. So I wasn't a big fan of the build personally. But again, the story they had for the 2 weeks they had before Backlash, 2-3 weeks they had before Backlash, I thought was okay. And of course, the match, I absolutely hate
You
this
know,
match.
it is the Danny with the build. Like with 2 weeks, you can't. It's not really much, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
But for the 2 weeks they had, I thought they done a decent job at building it.
Yeah, and also just to touch on Randy Orton, we forgot to talk about Randy Orton facing Joe Hendry for night two, so I think that's automatically D tier
Oh yeah,
for that.
fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
Um,
um, this card, I mean, don't be Penta, fine, nothing special. Gunther v Pat, I thought Gunther made it a good match, but again, not something I want Gunther to do. Becky v Lara, I thought was really good, by far the best thing on the show. The four-way for the US title with Jacob, LA, Damien, and Drew. I thought again was a real fun four-way, and the main event match. The actual match was a finish spam, which I'm fine with. They're two men, in the 40s. How a finish spam match, I thought it was good for what it was, but the ending, having R-Truth come out in the last ever Cena v Auto match, pissed me off so much. Genuinely pissed me off so much. I would probably rate it lower than the Cena v Cody match just for that. The action match was fun, I was enjoying the match. I was having fun with the match. But having R-Truth out of all people cost Cena, cost Orton the match, and then Cena having 2-3 dates with R-Truth in his retirement tour just even pissed me off more. So for
yeah,
that, I mean, I hate this match.
yeah. I mean, R-Truth ruining the last ever match between Cena and Orton was fucking disgraceful. But I think for me, because I remember the W just they fired R-Truth, right, and then there was a whole outrage, and then
Yeah,
they brought him back. Now, if R-Truth interfering actually led to anything meaningful, then I wouldn't have been mad at it. But did it? No, fuck no. I mean, I think that the Raw after Backlash, R-Truth comes out. He's got his shaved hair. He shaves his hair off, and he's like, basically saying, "I'm tired of being a comedy act. I'm tired of being a joke. Things are gonna change." And you know what? I really liked the promo. I thought it was fucking fantastic. I was like, you know what? This
yeah,
was not the direction I expected him to go in, but what a darker R-Truth, like a heel R-Truth. I'm down for that. I'll be excited for this. And what the fuck did we get? Like, where is R-Truth? Where is he now?
I can't remember the last time. Probably a SmackDown, but I can't remember the last time I seen him on TV.
Has he
But yeah,
gone back to being a goof?
oh yeah, he's a goof now. Yeah, yeah, they dropped that after 2 weeks. He's a goof now.
What was the point? I'm sorry, but listen, I think Ron Killings is generally one of the most underrated superstars of all time. The guy's fucking talented as fuck. Like we saw his heel run, right? The little Jimmy stuff, and he had a program with Cena 20, and he was actually fucking good. He held his own against John Cena. R-Truth's fucking good, bro. If you're gonna bring him back, then if he wants to do this dark angle, let him run with it. And instead, they just reduced him back to why? I don't get it. What was the point? It was better off if you just released him. I'm not gonna lie. Um,
Yeah, facts.
they just literally brought him back. This is the common theme with most of WWE this year. Viral moment. It was fucking stupid. And then Triple H acting all smug in the press conference. I hate the press conference that they do, by the way, after the PLEs. It's so weird. I just don't like it. And he's acting smug, saying, "Oh, it was all part of the plan." Blah, shut up, man. Backlash. I'm sorry, it was terrible. Terrible.
They've already confirmed that All Truth Angle is going to be part of Unreal Season 2, which I'm like,
Oh,
oh my
great.
days,
Oh,
you do not
wow.
mean that.
Fuck you know. That to me is slap in the face, innit? So now we're not booking for actually good entertainment and to entertain the fan. We're just booking for the WWE Unreal Netflix documentary. Like, get out of here, man. Fucking
Yeah.
disgrace. D for me. Sorry.
Oh my days, another.
This was even worse.
Oh my days. Let me pull the call up. I think Dom V Octagon Junior was on this card as well because he had AAA the Bowman before, so it was a 5 match card, not a 4 match card, which would be disgraceful. But again, man, oh my days, one good match on this whole card was the Becky v Lara. Again, they were having a really good series of matches here. The men's match, I didn't mind. I thought it was fine. At the time I was saying Seth should win, and Seth did win. The match I thought was fine. The Jacob Fatuvi solo angle, I thought they messed up. They rushed it at the time. It should not be done in a match where you had another, Seth basically winning was the big moment. You did not need Jacob to turn on solo then. That could have been done at SummerSlam, which would have been better. The women's one, I can't remember much from it, I'll be honest. But I mean, Naomi did win, and that main event, oh my days, nothing happened in that main event. They just had, you know, Cody Vijay won. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember, but I think Cody Vijay. Oh yeah, Cody Vijay won because this led to Cody getting his, basically getting his title shot against Cena. He had to go through King of Ring. I don't know why he went through that because he was always going to get the title shot anyways. Again, another bad main event, man. I think this was, oh yeah, this was the one where R-Truth returned because Cena was
Oh,
cutting
my
that promo. Yeah, Cena was cutting that promo with Logan, I think, in the ring, and R-Truth returned here, which led to their match at Saturday main event. Yeah, I was thinking what happened in the main event, but this is where R-Truth actually returned, and they were like, we worked all the fans, etc., etc. So yeah, man, I hated this.
my bad then. Backlash. What happened in the end of Backlash then? How did Cena?
He came out, remember, he came out to help Cena, and then he got into
Oh
Randy's
yeah,
face,
yeah.
and
Oh
then
yeah. It
yeah,
was our truth. I'm getting
yeah, he was there. He was in this and the Money in the Bank as well, both of them. Yeah,
okay. This is the one when he came back and
he
attacked Cena.
returned. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, okay. That makes Backlash even worse. Then our truth literally just came out because what Cena's
Yeah,
bad. Yeah, that was bad. And then obviously our truth ruined the finish for this as well. It was really, really bad. Money in the Bank, I hated. They put him in a tag team with Logan Paul versus Cody and Jay.
oh,
That's a Saturday night main event kind of match. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's literally 4 matches is disgraceful. You need to have minimum 6 matches, minimum.
yeah. They did have the Donwy Octagon match, but again, that was about 4 or 5 minutes, and it wasn't real good. So yeah, man, just again another bad pay per view. PLE.
It kind of a waste of a Cena PLE day as well. To be honest, he could have easily. Cena could have easily wrestled Jey Uso on a singles match. I know people are not a fan of Jey, but
I think on Cena's tour, I mean, I'll go through it properly when we do review his entire tour, and on his when we do the preview on review for Saturday main event. I think he gave Logan 3 dates and he gave R-Truth 3 dates too. So 6 out of his 36, 7 dates, it was to R-Truth and Logan Paul, who absolutely no one cares about. I mean, if we had fantasy book Cena's retirement tour, at the start of the year, if we had done it, I'm pretty sure none of us would have been saying he's gonna have 6 dates with R-Truth or Logan Paul. Let's be honest, none of us would have said that. So the fact they did that and had him here in the main event with Logan Paul against Cody and Jay was such a waste. Like you said, Carpe, they could have done. I think Jay was world champion here. You could have done JV Cena in a title match, something like that. It would have been much better than what actually happened.
yeah, agree with you.
But,
He's done an interview recently saying he wanted to do more dates, but W said we only need you for 32 or whatever it was.
yeah, we'll talk about that more on our preview for Saturday main event. But yeah, man.
Yeah, Money in the Bank. That's so that's WrestleMania. Even to be honest, even that one could arguably be in D.
Easily, yeah.
So that's 3 PLEs in a row that are in D tier.
Yep. I mean, the next one after this,
Did very well.
it's not getting much better, is it? Now I have champions.
To be fair,
Yeah, I would say this is a D show. I would think this is a D tier show.
the top 2 matches were actually good. To be fair,
The
like
Cody v Randy match I thought was really good. The selling in this match, the story between them, Randy at the end of the match, their chemistry. This is the first time we've really seen Cody and Randy have a match. Are all basically since both of their returns in 2022 and 2023 when Randy returned. Really good match. I enjoyed it. The Jacoby solo match, I think this is where Talatonga debuted, if I remember correctly. Again, that was done for an angle. The Jade v Ask match was not good from what I remember. I think Rhea v Raquel was probably a little bit better. And the Sam v Cross match, this series Sammy had with Karen Cross was so bad. And again, the main event just before the interference got crazy, you had guys like Penta coming out, LA Knight coming out, The Vision coming out. I thought it was a good main event, it's definitely not. I know people were absolutely fuming after this main event because they were like, every PLE is the same finish. You have interference come out, and then this guy costed this guy. Again, I know our fans were getting tired of the main event formula by that time, but again, I thought it was really good. Between Cena and Punk before the interference, I thought it was a really good match. The Saudi crowd were really into this, really hot for this match, and then we got the interference with the Vision and Seth trying to cash in, which Cena then took advantage of and beat Punk. So yeah, man. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a D tier pay per view in my opinion. I'd probably say it's a C. But what do you think, Carpe?
From Cena Punk was a good match. I mean, I think by this point, I think people were tired. The build for every Cena match was the same shit, basically. Cena would come out, complain about the fans, and his old rival would come out and say, "Oh, you've changed, blah blah. You used to be cool, etc., etc." I mean, to be honest, the Punk Cena build, aside from one promo, it was a bit disappointing. I
Oh
remember,
my days, that Punk Thugonomics promo. Ah, still hit.
yeah, that was very cringe. That was very bad. To be honest, this pay per view, most of the ones this year have been very forgettable. This one, I mean, Cody Randy, we saw was a great match, and they kind of teased something at the end of it, but it just never led to anything. So I don't know, man. I'd put it in D. To be honest.
I was gonna say, I don't know if we being really harsh with the PLEs, but again, the hype going into this, especially Cena and Punk's last match, Cody Randy delivered. I thought no issues about that. That match was the only card of the match. Was probably higher than a 4-star match. It absolutely delivered. But the rest of them, it was a bit of nonsense, man. Especially with how crazy the main event gone. So I mean, I wouldn't mind putting in a D tier.
Yeah.
Okay, this one. Women's Evolution. I know, Carpe, you didn't watch this, but I actually watched this, right? And the main event of this match was phenomenal. You had, I think, Naomi cash in win, which no one expected. No one expected at all. And again, the rest of the card, that triple threat with Becky, Lara, and Bailey was really good. The Jade v Naomi match, again, I thought, what it was a really good match. The Battle Royal, which Stephanie won, I thought it was, a good match. And again, the rest of the card, it's really solid, man. Like coming out of this pay per view, started really strong. The minute of the card was, really good. Not one bad match on this card, which is, hard to say for any PLE this year. I think we've had at least one bad match on every PLE this year about this one. And again, with a really good cash in, which no one expected at all. So, you know what? I'll say this is an A tier pay per view.
Uh, well, I thought this a PLE then, or I thought it was
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. It was a PLE.
fair enough. I didn't watch it, to be honest. Sorry, but I'll take your word for it, Danny.
Yeah. Next one is SummerSlam Night 1. Let me find it here. Okay, I mean. No, I mean, okay. So the first match I think was Roman and Jay against Braun and Bronson. I thought it was a really fun match. Again, I thought all four did really good work. Roman and Jay won, I think, a really fun match. And then I think we had the celebrity tag match with Jelly Roll, Logan Paul, Drew and Randy. I thought it was a good match. Jelly Roll was bumping hard. Made a really fun match. The Jade v Tiffany match, which Tiffany won because they wanted to stretch out Jade's win for some reason, made no sense. I didn't care about that match. Samu across another match I didn't care about. I thought the tag match between Raquel and Roxanne versus Alexa and Charlotte was a really good match. I think here's where Charlotte and Alexa actually won the tag belts, and the main event I thought was really good. And then we got the all-time angle at the end with Seth cashing in again, rules of the century, which I thought, a really good start, a really good end to the pay-per-view with, a good match, Punk finally winning the belt, and then Seth cashing in, which, they all did that fake injury angle. I mean, in hindsight, it's stupid because he did actually end up getting injured, but at that time, it was a really good injury angle. So, I mean, we were here, I was saying is that it worked, he's not injured at all. But there were guys that actually believed it. They were like, Seth's going to be out for a long time. He's got money in the bank. Is he going to vacate it? Is he not? And I was like, trust me, guys. Punk's going to win that belt at SummerSlam and Seth's going to come out and cash it into it. And that's exactly what happened. So, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good main event. Overall, I thought there was three good matches. Yeah, three, four good matches and two matches I didn't care about with Jade and Tiffany and Sammy and Cross. So again, this is definitely not a DTA pay per view in my opinion. Probably a C to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the tag match was really good between Roman J and the Bronsons. I really enjoyed the main event as well. Gunter Punk was a good match, and then obviously the angle as well. Seth, he's not injured and cashes in on Punk. I thought that was brilliant. It really furthered the story between them, and that pushed Seth into like the ultimate villain. Um, I mean, the Drew Jet. I mean, it was fine for what it is, but to me, I was pissed off because Randy and Drew deserved better than being in a fucking match like that. But the match itself was alright, but I just wasn't a fan of the story. I wasn't a fan of the way they were using Randy and Drew. Still not, to be honest. Nothing's changed. Yeah, Sami Zayn, Karen Cross, that was terrible. This was Cross's last match, innit?
Final match, yeah.
But that, I remember the people crying about Cross. They was
Oh,
like, "Oh, Cross is gonna be like have this Austin like popularity. He's gonna come back," and yeah, that worked out well. The women's tag, it was alright. Just don't really have much to say. Though this match, the Tiffany Jade match was quite bad. It was very botchy. I don't know if you remember it.
yeah, again, yeah, I thought it was a really bad match. And again, I don't know what Tiffany won just because they wanted to drag out Jay winning because, she won a Saturday Night Main Event a few weeks ago. So they dragged that out for no reason. Did not care about that match at all. Samuel Cross, like you said, a horrible match, which, no one talks about Cross these days. And yeah, man, I mean, 2 3 matches on here which I enjoyed with a great main event angle. So when they do leave you at the end satisfied with a really good main event angle, I don't think you can call it a bad show.
Yeah, I think C is fair for night one.
Yeah, I'd be fine with putting it in C. Night two. Let me pull this card up. You know what? This had, I'd say, 3 good matches and 3 bad matches. I think the opener with Rhea, Io, and Naomi was really good. That tag match, wow! That I think it was a ladder tag match or a TLC. It was amazing. Some of the spots in here were brutal. The winner though, Y6, not a big fan of, but again, it was fine. The solo with Jacob Steel K match was really disappointing, like really, really disappointing. I remember Becky v Lara being, disappointing at the time as well. People wanted a solid finish to, the actual really good feud, and they kind of messed you up. The match went a bit too long, and it was just stupid. Dom v AJ, I thought it was fine, nothing special. Could have been much better than it was. A fine match, and then that main event. Oh my god, Super Cody v Super Cena. Let's see who breaks first. It was a phenomenal match. A street fight, the only way it should have been. That one visual where Cena comes out from from the stage is with Cody on his back is phenomenal. A really good match. So many near falls in this match. Both men looked phenomenal. So yeah, man. I mean, again, like that one, the main event was really good, and then of course, at the end we get the Brock Lesnar return. So again, I'd probably put it C tier again. I thought it was 3 bad matches, 3 good matches, followed with a really good main event. So yeah, man, I'd probably say C.
I think you're being a bit harsh, to be honest. I think because of how like the main event for me was match of the year this year, in my opinion, and just how great of a match it was, how invested the crowd was, and then that like Brock Lesnar returning was the fucking shock, the cherry on top. How great of a main event and how great of an angle that was. I think it's got to be higher than C, to be honest. I'd actually put SummerSlam Night 2 B tier because I think Cody Rhodes versus John Cena 2 is one of my favorite John Cena matches ever, to be honest with you. I rate it very highly. It's in my top 10 John Cena matches. I don't know if you agree, but the match was phenomenal from start to finish. And I feel like both of them had a chip on their shoulder because I think they both expressed they were quite disappointed with their Mania match, and they had a point to prove. They wanted to come out and show everyone who they were, and we can have a good match, and they fucking did. They blew it out the water. They smashed it out the park. Cody and Cena were phenomenal in this match. I think they kicked out of each other's finisher like 3 4 times each. It was so fucking good. But obviously, with the big talking about with this angle was, I think was it the SmackDown before SummerSlam? Like Cena just randomly, um, like ended the heel turn and went back to being a babyface, and he cut one of the best promos in his career, to be honest. And the crowd went electric, and everyone was just gassed to have babyface Cena back. I remember we done a preview. I thought it was a swerve. I thought Cena's like going to trick Cody, and he's going to basically would pick up the win by doing something heelish again. But nah, it was a full on, basically trying to retcon what they done. Cena back to a babyface. I thought the match was beautiful. It was brilliant. And the angle, Brock Lesnar returning, fucking shocking moment. Nobody expected that. So for me, it's one of the few positive notes I have for 2025 WWE. I put on B tier.
You know what? Maybe I was being a bit harsh looking back at it. There were some matches I was definitely disappointed by, like the Solo with Jacob match, like the Becky Lyon, maybe even the Don v AJ match. But the stuff on this match, started off real hot, finished really, really hot with that Cody. We see the match, like I said, Carpe. It probably gets into my Cena top 10 list. Probably does. I mean, Cena has a lot of. He probably has the best catalog of any wrestler. Let's be honest. So, I mean, we'd have to look at that. When we do rank Cena's best matches ever, we'd probably do that as a video. But I'd say that probably makes my top 10. A phenomenal match. Everyone was invested in this match. Not before. I see the Bill Blackie said the week. I mean, literally 2 days before SummerSlam, Cena comes out and just turns face, and we were, like you said, we were thinking, is this a ruse? Is Cena going to, before the end of the show, attack him at 10, just basically lure in Cody into this false hope? And no, it was Cena just turning babyface. I remember he quote that promo saying, the people who I wanted to be there weren't there, basically implying The Rock and Travis Scott. So again, having Cena have his last match at SummerSlam as a full babyface, he came on with that title on. It wasn't black, it turned into all colorful. Was amazing. The visual, everything. I think he is probably, my best match this year too. It's definitely top 2, 3. But yeah, man, again, if you have that kind of match on a card, maybe I was being a bit too harsh. That's why we probably put, um, night one Mania main event in C, because it really did save the show. It's not a D tier because it did have that one, all time match, which we probably, I mean, this match and the night one main event are easily top 2, 3, 4 matches of the year. So for that, yeah, I probably was being a bit harsh. I'll put this in B tier.
Yeah, I think it's the best out of the big four pay-per-views as well this year as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Clash in Paris.
You know what? This was actually, I don't know. I think the crowd, because the crowd was so good, maybe it's a bit biased, but I mean, Roman Bronson was a decent match. Logan Paul, surprisingly, was a good match as well.
Yeah, really good. Sheamus v Rusev, I thought was a very strong match. Becky v Nikki, not so much, but I mean, there's only much you can do with Nikki Bella there. I thought Becky did as much as she could do. I can't remember much of the profits with the YS6, but I mean, I think the YS6 must have won. It must have been by interference, I think, but I think DIY were there or something. I can't remember correctly, but again, that wasn't really a great match. And the four-way, I was kind of disappointed with it. I expected much better. I think it's harder to do a four-way than a triple threat because it's hard to, have these sequences in the matches. But I thought it was fun for what it was. And this is where, Becky Lynch ended up joining the division. I mean, looking back at it did its job, right? Because it was going to set up Becky and Seth v Punk and AJ, which it basically did. We got that AJ Lee return. So that's the whole purpose of the main event. Seth was going to retain. Punk was going to take the pin because, Becky Lynch costume. But again, nothing special. Cena v Logan, I thought was a really good match. Roman v Bronson, again, a really good match. Sheamus v Rusev, a good match. And the rest, it was okay. There was nothing that I would say was really bad on this show. But again, nothing like top tier or amazing. For that, I'd probably put in a C.
Yeah, I agree with you, to be honest. I see. Cash Pass, nothing special. And
Crown Jewel. Let me pull the card up. Okay. Okay, this is a good card. Looking back at it, just happened recently, what, less than 2 months ago. Rowan Bronson, here's where Bronson won, and we had that thing with Jey Uso probably accidentally costing Roman the match. Was done greatly. Cena v AJ, we talk about Cena v Cody being good. This is right up there. This is right up there. A phenomenal match between Cena and AJ. They were hitting, everyone's finishes they could think of, which I thought made it really good. The tag match I thought was a really fun tag match with Rio against the Kabuki Warriors. The weakest match on the card, again, it wasn't a bad match. It was probably the weakest match was Tiffy against Stephanie Vaquer, which Stephanie won, and the main event between Cody and Seth, I thought was really good. It's probably their second best match they've ever had. They were going all out. I mean, Seth did go all out and get injured, but again, and he did win by using the brass knuckle, which that story was probably the best feud this year, I'd say. out of Cody v KO. Cody v said the build up to this, Seth basically being insecure, not knowing he can beat Cody, and they're basically, telling the Bronsons and Paul Heyman to stay away. I can beat Cody on my own, and then at the end of it, he had to use something to beat Cody. So it wasn't done clean, but in his head, he's got this, false sense of victory. I finally beaten Cody. So again, that story was really good there. But for the best part of Seth's style reign, and this year he's done, in my opinion, and it was some of the best of Cody's done. I mean, he's had a lackluster year, let's be honest, but the Cody VKO feud and this feud I thought was, really good feuds and matches with Cody. So yeah, man. I mean, again, a really strong pay per view. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's a A tier though, because I think Chamber and Evolution are probably the top two shows of the year. But I would say it's a strong B tier.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much of a story for Cena AJ, but it was a fucking great match. They both proved they still got it. Cena AJ always have good matches. Their chemistry is unreal. The women's match was good. I think the tag match was good as well. Bronson Roman was surprisingly a good match as well. And Bronson going over was huge. I didn't expect that. And in the main event, I loved the storyline going into it with Seth, like questioning himself because he's never beaten Cody. And he wanted to prove that he could beat Cody. And they had an amazing one of the matches of the year, to be honest. Seth ended up injuring himself like for a while for this match. He wanted that badly to prove a point. But yeah, great match. It was a great finish. Right decision for Seth to go over. Yeah, I agree with you, Danny. I think it was a very good pay-per-view. There wasn't much story, though, for some of the matches. But yeah, I put it B tier.
Oh yeah, with Crown Jewel they were doing this, champion v champion gimmick for the Crown Jewel Championship. No story in that. And again, the Cena v AJ had what they announced this on Twitter, bro. They announced this on Twitter, and I think AJ must have called one promo, and Cena wasn't there at all, and they had this match. So, I mean, I absolutely hated the build. We spoke about it enough on our previews and reviews, but the build was absolutely horrible. But the actual match, it was really special, man. So, yeah, I'd say it's a solid B tier. And the last pay per view of what were you gonna say?
Cena Styles, I don't think it was originally planned as well. I think it was just like a last. Cena just tweeted something like, I want to face Styles.
Yeah, I think they basically forced Triple H's hand into booking it. I don't know what was his original plan. Probably to face someone like Bronson Reed. I'm not gonna lie, but they gave it to Roman instead, and had Cena Styles, which I'm glad, man. I'm glad in a year where Cena's not had the best run and best retirement tour. I'm just glad we had matches like that. Cody v Cena match, which has a special place in my heart, and this match versus Cody.
Nobody's mad. Everybody wanted to see Cena versus Punk and Styles. One more. It's just I think the storylines were just weak. If they could have,
Yeah, definitely.
literally just relied on the legacy of the rivalries and the name alone to like sell them. I don't really agree with.
Bro, for the entire year, this company, Triple H, has relied on John Cena. They've said, okay, John Cena's going to be here. This show will probably sell out. We don't need to book it as strong as we could. I can just, cost this year. And he's done this. But next year would be interesting. He doesn't have Cena there anymore. But
Yeah.
going into
Wrestle of that, the last two we have here, probably it's going to be a close one between the worst PLE of the year. It's between WrestlePalooza and Survivor Series. But let's start off with WrestlePalooza then.
my days, man. I mean, going into this PLE, there were strong hopes, especially with the main event. We were fantasy booking, could Drew finally win the belt? If they're having this main event, surely something massive is going to happen in the main event. Does Randy cost Cody the match? Is Drew basically going to become the new champ? What happened in this match? And again, they went for the most boring choice, man. They had Cody retain with some stupid angle where he was acting more heelish than Drew McIntyre, which they've not played on TV at all. Not at all. They've just completely forgot about that. Said, yeah, let's do this nice story arc where we portray Cody as a heel in this match, where he screws Drew. But on TV, let's just completely forget about that. Stupid. The Cena v Brock match, pointless, man. Pointless. Did not need to happen. I don't know why it happened. I think the Usos against the Bronsons, fine match. I think Elina was special guest referee, but again, it was nothing special. The Punk, Punk, Becky, AJ, and Seth match, again, man, it was a fine match for what it was, but I think it went a bit too long. I think this match went about half an hour, which is ridiculous. If it went 15 minutes, it would have been fine, but I think it went too long. But it was fine for what it was, right? Like, it wasn't a bad match. I thought it was an okay match. I really enjoyed the EO Stephanie match. This was really good, like really good. So again, I think Stephanie won because they vacated the title here because Naomi got pregnant, right? And then they had Io and Stephanie got into the match. And most people were saying, okay, Io might actually win this, but again, Stephanie won, which again, a great surprise. I really like that. And yeah, the main event, man, just uninspiring, boring, the most predictable. It just basically told us that just never expect anything from Triple H or this company because every time they're gonna go with the most boring option.
Yeah, WrestlePalooza was bad. I mean, it was terrible. I mean, I thought the tag match with AJ Lee and CM Punk was gonna main event, or Brock Cena was a repeat of 2014 in Big 2025. Why? What was the point? The women's match was a bit dead, to be honest. And then the main event, the way they're treating Drew McIntyre is horrible. But yeah, it was just a nothing pay-per-view. Nothing happened. I mean, we thought maybe they might go for something big because it's the first one on ESPN, but nope. It was just your run-of-the-mill PLE. D-tier easily. I'd put in D-tier.
Yep. Now it's a conversation between was this Western Survival Series?
In
Oh,
joining the long list in D-tier is Survivor Series. You know what? I'm gonna say it's worse because it's a big four PLE and it was just absolutely shit from start to finish. Not a single memorable moment for me. I'm not gonna lie. Such a thing.
yeah. Women's War Games, awful. Stephanie v Nikki, awful. Nothing happened in it. Don Vicina, again, for what it was, Liv Morgan return. The action match was okay, fine. And the men's war game, horrible. Absolutely horrible. With the masked man, basically cussing the baby faces the match and then not even revealing himself. Leaving a leaving a big four PLE on a cliffhanger is unforgivable. It was a horrible match. Nothing happened in the match. I think we spoke about it enough, but I think the Punk v Braun match at the start was really good. He was telling a nice story, and Braun Penny Punk was great. The only good thing about the match, the rest was entrance fight. Then the other brawl between Brock and Roman outside, got into the cage. The bell rang, and 5 minutes later, they had the masked man cost the baby faces the match, and that's how it ends. And then we had the weird part with Roman, Punk, and Cody just basically, trying to figure out, are we friends, are we not friends? And Roman was like, I'm not teaming with Cody ever again, blah blah blah. Pointless, did nothing. Probably worse than WrestlePalooza, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think Survivor Series just takes the edge. I mean, it completely. It's completely made war games boring, which is hard to do, to be honest, because it's such a cool concept. But they've successfully ruined war games. It's just
Oh,
the star power that they had for the main event as well, and they just fumbled it completely. Lame ass finish. That's the way they're ending 2025 as well. It's just one of them ones, isn't it? Like, they know it's towards the end of the year. They're just trying to get to the road to Mania, basically. So they don't really care, and they're just not putting in any effort. Survivor Series was shocking. It was terrible. I mean, we've talked about it enough, to be honest, on our Survivor Series review. So we're not going to go into too much detail, but Survivor Series 2025 officially takes the crown of the worst PLE of the year for WWE in 2025. Danny, if we were to pick the best PLE then, for the ones in A tier, I'm going to put Chamber. I can't lie.
It's gotta be Chamber with that main event angle, all time a heel turn. Again, a really good call with that Sammy VKO match. One of my favorite matches this year. The two Chamber matches are really, really good PLE, man. By far the best this year.
Yeah, so there you have it. Our number one PLE for WWE in 2025 is Elimination Chamber. Worst PLE is Survivor Series. But just looking at this list here, the amount of PLEs detail is shocking.
Not
That's
one S tier PLE this year, which I think rightfully so, right? I don't think we've been really harsh on some of these PLEs. They've been rightfully bad. We've come out a lot of PLEs this year being disappointed. We were like, what is this? Listen, we've basically previewed every PLE here apart from Evolution, which we basically spoke about in our weekly KFM and our show. But the rest of it, man, we previewed. And how many times have we been like, Triple H, what have you done? You're going with the most uninspiring, boring, predictable choice. And we were just basically deflated after it, which is crazy because he does this every time, right? And we on the preview talking about, what if this could happen? What if Randy could turn heel here? What if, this happened with Roman, Jay, etc., etc. And nothing ever ends up happening. Like, look at all the D tier ones. Every one of them had a bad finish. Every single one of them had a bad finish. And I think rightfully so, right? It is cliche to say, but it's how you leave him. It's how you leave him after a PLE. You could have a really bad PLE, and the last match or two could absolutely slap, and you could, say, okay, it's probably a C tier, like we've done with the likes of SummerSlam now on, like we've done with WrestleMania now on. These PLEs weren't great, right? But they had main events, which, okay, these are really good main events, so they probably saved the show. But with PLEs like the bottom six, man, the main events were really uninspiring, and we all came out of it like, "God, Triple H, like, where do we go from here?" So yeah, I mean, 6 out of your 14 PLEs being in D tier just shows, how bad the PLEs have been this year.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much nailed it, Danny. 2025 has been a year to forget for PL, not just PLEs, but the products in general. I mean, the weekly programming's been shocking. PLEs have been shocking. The booking's been shocking. Storylines have been shocking. Triple H, mate, get your fucking act together. I don't know if it's TKO. I think they're all to blame. They all got their hands in the same pot. Fix up. I feel like naturally 2026 will start off better because Road to Mania team, they actually do put in some effort. I'll give them that. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber, so WrestleMania will probably be good, for build wise. But yeah, I mean, considering this was their first year on Netflix, you'd thought they'd go all out, yeah, to like entertain the masses, to make a statement, but it just felt the whole 2025 really just felt like complete filler. From the PLEs to the programming to the wrestlers, just nothing apart from seeing the turn heel, but it eventually led to nothing. Yeah, just been a very forgettable year, and we hope 2026 is a lot better. Any final thoughts, Danny?
We've spoke about a lot of viral moments, right? Like, this company's become a viral moments company. And let's be honest, there's been a lot of big moments this year. We started off great Chamber, and then Mania now one. I thought, we got a big moment with Seth, and then we got the Brock return. We got a lot of viral moments we to consider. But the overall storylines, the overall booking has been really shocking, man. And again, they started off strong. I thought with Rumble, Chamber, you had a real good. Some of the matches I went to find out going into Mania, but again, it was a really strong card to look forward to. The night one main event was really strong. The night two main event was really strong, and the way they butchered, especially the night two main event, led to a slippery slope all the way until SummerSlam, which I do think they picked up after SummerSlam. I do think the second half of the year has been much better than the until SummerSlam. Not even half, probably August onwards. Like, they had SummerSlam in August, then they had Clash in Paris, which I thought was okay. WrestlePalooza, horrible. Crown Jewels, I thought was really good, and again, Survivor was horrible. So again, it's been a bit of up and down here. Some great PLEs like we talk about with the Chamber, Evolution, even Crown Jewel, SummerSlam Night 2 were really good. Rumble for most part was really good, but again, man, it's unforgivable to have 6 PLEs in not even C tier, all in D tier.
Yeah, I mean, we've pretty much said everything that's needed to be said. WWE, that's been the WWE 2025 PLE ranking, whatever you want to call it. If you made it this far, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, this is Mission Podcast. We cover lots of things, but if wrestling is your thing, then kindly go over to the playlist section. It's all laid out for you. Click on wrestling, or even Kayfabe and App. That's our weekly wrestling roundup. But yeah, yeah. If you're new to the channel, I doubt people even reach the end of the video, to be honest. But yeah, it's been a good one. See you guys for the next one.